Hello, welcome to the Prattling Codgers podcast. I am the kid.
And I'm Dan Lee.
It's just like a broken record. We had our share of issues.
Yes, indeed.
We're actually starting like an hour late.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dan Lee's light shit out, so
yeah,
I have to figure out what the problem is with that.
Yes, indeed. So it's always one of those, oh, crap. Now what?
Yeah, it's always something.
Oh, hey, when we were back in the days where we were playing music, my God, if anything quit working, it was like, I better have another one.
Yeah, you couldn't just restart the computer and hopefully clear everything up.
Right.
But we're getting into everything drums this week.
Yeah, that's right up our alley, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it used to be anyways.
Dan
Lee and I are Prattling Codger drummers from back in the day.
Yes, indeed.
I don't
rock and rollers
play much these days.
Right.
Still got my kit set up in the other room, but just don't hit them a whole lot because it's always, hip issue or back issue or my elbow this week. My elbow's been hurting for about a week. I don't know what's going on with that. But
that sucks.
Dan Lee introduced me to drumming basically. I think I was always like inclined to, if I was going to play an instrument, it would have been the drums. And I think when you came around, I was beating on pots and pans and boxes and stuff with like wooden spoons. And one day you gave me a pair of sticks.
Yeah.
And so I had an actual pair of drumsticks. And then and you got me a drum pad, the old Remo drum pad that's got like an actual drum head on it. Still got it. Still got the drum pad.
Yeah, those are, for working out and keeping your hands together and all that business. Yeah.
Yeah. So, excuse me. So once I got going, got me set up with my first kit, an old Red Sparkle Rogers kit. I think it was a bass drum, a mounted tom, and a floor tom.
That's right.
I don't know if the snare was actually a Rogers snare. I can't remember what snare I started out with, but then we added some timbales. I don't even know where we got the fucking timbales.
I got those up in Rochester at the House of Guitars, and it was typical of a trip to the House of Guitars. I just wanted that one thing, but you can end up spending 2-3 hours in there just looking at everything.
Yeah.
And that's when they had all the drum stuff had been moved upstairs in that old building they moved into. I remember when those guys were in a plaza, in just a tiny little store in the plaza.
Oh, my light just went out.
Oh yeah, I saw that. And when you walked into that store, I mean, it really was the House of Guitars. It was nothing but, there had to be 200 guitars on display in this tiny little store in a plaza. Yeah. It was like, and they were crazy. They were always crazy. I hope they still have the same thing going on.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, the timbales. It was a weird addition to like a kid that wanted to play rock and roll. But I made them work for a long time. I mean, I had the one mounted tom, 2 timbales.
Yeah.
I think at one point I might have got rid of the timbales and added in rototoms.
Yes, indeed.
Which fit a little better for the type of music I was wanting to play. And
you did mention the floor tom, right?
Yeah, I had a floor tom and a mounted tom.
Yeah, the Red Sparkle floor tom.
And then a bass drum. And like I said, I don't remember what the snare drum was, but
it could have been a Slingerland.
I think it was a Slingerland. It wasn't a Rogers, I know that.
Right.
But what was your first kit? Or your introduction to drumming, basically.
Yeah, really.
I know you used to sit in front of a TV and play that little kit that you got for Christmas or something one year.
Yeah.
Remember you telling that story. Driving your parents crazy. And
oh my God. Hey, the first time you say, hey, I want to be a drummer, everybody should go, okay, well, here comes 10 years of a lot of noise.
Yep. And it's not all good noise.
And no, it's not. It's nobody is Steve Gadd until they work really hard at it.
Yeah. Well, that's what my wife was asking me earlier today. Like, how did you ever take any formal lessons? I said, no. I said, just,
yeah.
Well, how'd you learn? I said, just Dan Lee would come in, give me some pointers, show me how to do, a drum roll and certain things. And then he'd just let me go. And then if he heard something and wanted to give me a pointer, he'd come in and give me a couple pointers and then let me go. He didn't inundate me with information.
Yeah.
He just kind of let me work through it. But I said, yeah, you listen to records, you hear something you like, you try to figure out how they're playing it, and you do it to the best of your abilities.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And think about the amount of work. Okay. Let's say you're going to a gig, right? You got a car full of stuff in the trunk, or depending on the car you have, in the trunk, back seat, stuff on the floor, on the passenger side, up front. I mean, every space is taken up with cymbal stands and just everything. And you got to haul it all in, try and get your spot figured out if it's the first time you've played there. And I know you've had to deal with this crap. And then just putting everything together and hope that, nothing moved, that everything is rock solid. Even down to the point where, you've got extended stands that get the cymbals up high enough. And then you've got to turn a little key that locks it in place so it doesn't drop down while you're playing. And the cymbal you're hitting was up here and now it's down here.
Right. Or your bass drum slid out and took your toms with it.
Yeah, that's right. And you're
they make all kinds of neat shit. Now they have straps that attach to your kick drum
to the tuning lugs, or is it around the drum?
I'm not exactly sure where they strap onto the bass drum.
Yeah,
they go behind your seat. So so in order for your bass drum to pull away, it's going to pull you away too. So you're right there with the drums anyway. So
yeah, it won't happen. Yeah, but it won't happen. I did that before. When that was the first thing I ever did was I went to a hardware store and got some rope, and it had to be small enough to tie around the tuning pegs.
Yeah.
I always mispronounce don't use the right word, but where you tune the rods going into tightening up the bass drum head. So I had to tie it to everything and go around behind my seat with it, go from one side of the bass drum to the other. And then when I stood up, I kept telling myself the first night, when you get up, remember there's a rope there.
Yeah.
Because otherwise
trip over it, fall flat on your face.
Yeah.
And we'll be back for our set too after we get back from the emergency room with our drummer.
Yeah. The guitar player said he'd hang around and do an acoustic set.
Yeah. But other than the little kit that you got for Christmas, what was your first, whatever put together kit or actual kit?
Yeah. It was a real low cost Japanese kit of some sort. It didn't have any, chrome pieces that said the name on it, whatever the heck it was. There was paper glued to the inside of the shell. And it had a bunch of Japanese or Chinese writing on it. It could have been Chinese for all I know. But it was just a matter of, if you work with something long enough, you can get a good sound out of it. It's just that I didn't have that. And when I got the first drum kit, my sister's boyfriend, they were in high school, and I was in I think I was in 7th grade maybe when I got that drum kit, and my sister's boyfriend's older brother came over. He got word to him that I had my first drum kit, and he was great, man. He came over and he worked with me, and he just said, let's start from the very beginning, lay everything out, and we went from there.
Yeah,
and just a very cool guy. And so we got it all set up, and then he went through the time of tuning everything. And everybody's got their own way of tuning. You know, I think I told you that the bottom heads should be a little bit tighter than the top head. The bottom head for sound, the top head for feel.
Feel, yeah.
And but you know, it's whatever works for you. And you know that too, when you get to a point and you're in a band and it's professional now and you've got everything's mic'd, and you had a double kit, your chrome double was Yamaha kit, right?
Yeah. I think over the year, I think that Rogers kit, and I don't even, it's been so long, I don't even remember how I added to it over the years, but I picked up another bass drum at some point. Right. I don't even think it was the same size bass drum.
Right.
I think it was a bigger bass drum, but but added the bass drum and added some, other stuff to it. I don't know where I, just picked up used somewhere or something and added to the kit and used that kit for quite a few years.
Sure.
Not gigging out, but, playing on.
Sure. Getting the
first,
shops
the
together.
first big gig was the Battle of the Bands at my high school. Yeah. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I remember that, man. That was great.
4 bands. Dan Lee had a row of actual lights.
Yeah.
That we set up for our our set. And
I hope you were on last if you guys were being the big professional light guys.
Well, I don't know if we were on last or not. I can't remember. There's only 4 bands.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember.
But I know that we blew the breaker and all the lights in the gym went out.
Oh, shit.
And so we couldn't use the lights after that. Once they got everything back on, they wouldn't let us turn the lights back on.
Yeah. Oh, there was a kick in the balls, wasn't it?
But we had a shop vac hidden on stage.
Oh, yeah?
We sucked all the beads out of a beanbag chair.
Oh, no kidding.
And at the end of the set, we blew them out. Yeah, the janitors weren't real happy about it.
Grand finale. But, that's funny. I had to have been there for that. I'm sure I was.
Oh, yeah, you were there.
Yeah. No, I mean, I hung around through it all. I wouldn't have left.
Oh, yeah.
I was your roadie. I was watching everything. I was like, if he drops a stick and he forgot to put one in place that he could grab, I'm going to be right there with a stick. I had sticks right in my hands. I was
I don't even remember the songs we played.
Yeah.
But that was the first gig.
Yeah, and the thing of it is,
band was called Crystal Eyes.
That's right. For me, it was
Crystal Eyes.
Oh yeah. You could.
So it's kind of like a double kind of.
Yeah, double kind of stuff going on there. But anyhow, I was your roadie, so I was just watching everything.
Terry, the singer, the guy that was singing in the band, he wasn't really a singer per se.
Right.
He was a singer. Like his dad, I think, videotaped it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he I don't know if he still got it now, but
God, that'd be awesome if they did.
Or horrible, one or the
other. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna have some semblance of horrible to it at some point. It's just bound to happen.
Yeah. Well, it was the first time any of us played out in front of a crowd. I mean, we had a pretty good crowd there,
Oh yeah, the place was packed.
Little town, there wasn't a whole lot going on, so
so that was
Battle
big.
of the Bands with a bunch of local high school kids.
So it gave everybody a chance to talk about it at lunchtime.
Yeah. Yeah, it was me on drums, Terry singing, Ty was on guitar,
Right.
Dave was on bass, and I'm not sure if we had two guitar players or just one at that point.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Because we had another guy that played with us for a while back in the day when we were first getting started.
Right.
Jamming in the basement. Never forget, like we'd be at Ty's house in his basement practicing or whatever.
Yeah.
And when his dad was kind of tired of us, he'd come up and he'd turn the power off. And like all the amps were good. So the only thing that left playing was me for a second.
Oh my God.
Ty'd get so pissed. You can't just freaking turn it off like that. I got to turn the volume down and stuff.
Really.
Flip the lights on and off, and we'll stop or whatever.
Yeah, really.
We'll just cut the power.
There's always a better way.
But he didn't give a shit. He was like, I need some peace and quiet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, the drums are loud enough now.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
You got anything you want to touch on? I don't want to hog up the whole.
I mean, because I didn't really do much until after high school with it. Then I was focused on getting in bands or getting in a band that was going to be working, because I knew that I wanted to improve everything I owned. And the only way I was going to do it was I'm working a job, I'm putting in a 40-hour week. And then I'm playing on the weekends. And what originally started out just like on Friday nights, the worst night of all, after putting in a full day Friday.
Right.
I'm driving 35 miles from some job in Rochester, New York, down into the Finger Lakes to Canandaigua, where we lived. And I get there, and first thing I do is shower, figure out what I've got to do. The drums are I get the drums loaded in the car, and it's a ton of work. It really is. You're just on the run, and you can't breathe a sigh of relief until that first set is over and you get to take a short break.
Yeah, I mean, I unfortunately didn't get to gig out like at the capacity you did. I mean, I did some, but I spent most of my days in a garage band kind of thing, just trying to get the thing started.
Right.
And then, it's like being married to 3 or 4 other people, and inevitably there's always issues. And then it's like, now we got to fucking start all over again, especially when you're in a small town. It's not like, we're going to audition bass players and we got like 9 guys show up on the first day. It's like, no, really? You're lucky if you got 1 or 2 games that you can call and go, hey, you want to come over and jam?
Yeah.
See how things mesh.
Yeah. I mean, if you live in a city, you're going to have a time slot for 15, 16 guys.
Yeah.
You're going to spend all day Saturday and into Friday or Saturday or Sunday, whatever, just auditioning people.
Yeah. I mean, I never had that problem, but like I said, I think after all the years of, getting a band, getting to that point where it's like we're ready to go start gigging, and then, somebody moves. It's like, fuck. Because that's what happened with one of the bands. We just started gigging out, and then he moved. And he was our lead, sang at least half the songs, if not 3/4 of the songs, and played guitar. And it's like, and then we, bring in other people, and it's like, I'm digging it. Well, I don't know. I want to check somebody else out or whatever. And then by the time you check the other person out, this guy's already got another gig with another band. And it's like, all right, we just lost our, one of our few options.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
But even when I moved to North Carolina, I was still trying to at least just get in a weekend band.
Yeah.
And, but after so long, it just kind of soured. I just kind of was like, what? Like, I'll have a kit, I'll play. And maybe, if I can find the right guys, we can do some recording and just fuck around and have some fun.
Exactly.
But this shit trying to start a fucking band, I'm just done with it. I was never lucky enough to get in a band that lasted long enough to actually make a name for it. And when I say make a name, I mean, I'm talking locally or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Asylum. Or even, Asylum was the biggest thing that I did.
Yeah.
And that, right when we got going is when things kind of fell apart, as soon as you get going.
Yeah. I mean, and you got to give yourself a lot of credit for that one. Cause when you guys finally got going, it was excellent.
Yeah. It was, absolutely excellent. It was like we had, we even got a gig up in Rochester opening up for, a band that had a name.
Right.
Not, well, when I say name locally, I'm not talking with, only time I ever played with a national act was when I played with Tommy Cash.
Oh yeah,
one of the worst experiences of my fucking life. It was a local country band up there in where I lived in New York, and their drummer broke his arm or something. And they were needing somebody to fill in for a gig all the way down here in North Carolina at a fucking tractor show. And I'm like, I don't play country, but let's get together a couple times.
Right.
Well, here's a tape. Just learn the songs.
Yeah. I guess that's the best you can do.
We're only playing like 10 songs, so it's I'm like, but let's get together once or twice just to rode all the way down to North Carolina in the motorhome.
Yeah.
And went back and met Tommy at his camper or his coach, if you want to call it a coach. It wasn't a coach. He was cool. He was a nice guy.
He was in the Cash family, right?
Yeah. And then getting ready to go out, he put his fancy sequin jacket on and shit like that. And everybody said, just follow him. He kind of dictates the tempo and everything else. I'm like, oh, great.
Tell me, do you remember how he dictated? Was he clapping his hands?
All I know is I had a watch laying on the floor next to me, and they're like, we're only going to play like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And we're like 45, 50 minutes in. We're still going. We're playing songs I've never even heard before. And I'm just back there just trying. Now, Tommy's son came out and played like 3 or 4 songs, and they were all new songs that I've heard before, and they were all a little more upbeat. And they were the more straightforward. So we got through those. That was the most fun of the entire thing. But God, I was like, I'll never fucking do anything like that again. Not even in the right genre. It's not even the type of music I play.
Oh yeah. You were on another planet. Definitely.
And people think, oh God, if you can play like, metal and shit like that, it's good country drummer is a good country drummer.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's, it ain't just, there's some simple country songs, but there's some simple rock and roll songs too.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it was an experience.
Yeah, and you got to have those because you can look back at them and cringe or laugh or whatever, and it's just like, well, I'm glad I did it just because the opportunity was there. And
just because the story, I've told the story a number of times, but God, I'm glad nobody had cell phones back there that would record it and everything. You're like, who the fuck is that drummer? He's awful.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that cracks me up.
There's literally like 5 people out there in the audience. Like this was some freaking, I don't even know where in North Carolina we were.
Yeah.
Because it was before I ever moved down here. But yeah, that was, most of the people there were not interested in music. They were looking at tractors. And
I can remember playing weddings. I can remember playing a wedding where it was a little hole in the wall town. I don't know, between one decent sized town and another decent sized town, but there was this stretch of road that was like 25 miles in between, and we were playing a wedding reception. So the church had a hall behind it, and so we had everything ready to go and in there and set up. And we I don't know who got the band. That was the biggest problem. And that's a lot of problem for a lot of places. Who is the guy that brought this band here?
Right.
And so we didn't play all our sets, because everybody wanted to dance and this and that, but we were totally wrong for the deal. And so, we couldn't even fake the songs. We didn't know them. We had our stuff, and there was always somebody that sat in at the bachelor party, and they were talking about, hey, I go to a lot of clubs. I hear bands. I can line up something for you guys for your wedding reception. And they're like, yeah, do it, man, do it. Everybody's drinking, and it's like, oh, it'll be great.
Right.
And it wasn't. We didn't fit the bill at all. And on top of that, I don't know if it was the bride or the groom's parents that were like, no. These are not the guys, and I think, when you first walk in the hall and there's music playing, it's like, oh, okay, well, good. They're going to play music when we take our breaks on their stereo system. Somebody let them use set up on the table there, But yeah, we actually, we left early and we were like, no, we don't want any money. We're good. We're sorry.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. It's like, we're sorry that whoever told you about us didn't have a more in-depth conversation about the whole thing.
Why is it that the bad gigs are always more memorable than the good ones?
Oh yeah, because they're
the good ones are memorable, but
again, they're so rare. It's like, oh, this is really embarrassing for everyone.
Well, we played at God, I can't remember what college back when it was Asylum.
Oh yeah. Oh, no kidding.
They booked us for a big gig in the gymnasium.
Uh-huh.
And we rented a PA and the whole nine, because we were making money. Sure. It was a paying gig.
Right.
We didn't make a lot after we rented the big PA, but
sure.
At that point, you just wanted exposure.
Everything was mic'd up and yeah.
Oh yeah, we were mic'd up and everything else. Problem is that weekend there was some big event going on, so nobody showed up. So we're playing in an empty gym.
Oh my God.
And we had replaced our bass player. So we had a different bass player that hadn't been with us very long. Him and I didn't vibe very good. And our guitar player didn't have a locking tremolo, and he broke a string right in the middle of one of the songs.
Oh.
And his whole guitar just went out of whack.
Oh my God.
So I had to start playing a drum solo. So the bass player and I started playing, kind of trying to groove a little bit, but nothing, it was just all off. And I don't know if he just wasn't vibing with me and got pissed off. He threw the 5-string Ibanez bass up in the air. So all you hear is the guitar player go out of tune, right? Yeah. Then you hear me start playing. Then he just comes in, and then we're vibing, and then all of a sudden it's just me. And this is over the course of 10 minutes, whatever. Then all you hear is like,
he let it hit the floor?
Oh, he hit the fucking, and it wasn't even his bass.
Oh, what an idiot.
Yeah, cracked the fucking neck on it and everything else.
Oh my God.
So now what do I do? Well, now I guess I just keep playing. And I'm like, when I'm done with this drum solo, it's a gymnasium with high ceilings. I'm going to chuck my fucking sticks up in the air because I want to. And I chucked them up in the air, and you can hear them hit the gym floor. That's how many people are there.
I thought you were going to say to put somebody's eye out
in the background, because
that's funny.
Tim was there, and he was back at the board.
Yeah.
And the board had a cassette thing in it where you could, if you wanted to record right through the board.
Sure.
And he ran out and actually got a Bon Jovi tape out of his truck.
Oh, no.
When we popped the tabs out and recorded this. I have the tape somewhere.
Oh, my God. Is the sound of the bass hitting the floor in there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's precious.
And the guitar going out of tune and my shitty drum solo and the sticks hitting the floor. Very faintly. You can barely hear them hit the floor through that. But
the little clatter of drumsticks 35 feet out.
it was, but we still got paid.
Hey, well, there's a positive.
When we finished the set, I don't know what bass the bass player used. Well, I feel like I've been hogging up the airwaves here. You got anything you want on your list that you want to get into as far as drums?
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about electronic drums, just briefly. But I do want to hit on it because there's a few pluses and there's definitely some minuses to it.
Yeah.
But for anybody that listens in, the first thing I want to say is just the physical difference between the two. The drum pads are plastic with a rubber pad on it and a bunch of electronics built inside. Well, and
not the new ones.
How are the new ones?
The new ones have mesh heads and stuff, which I've never played. I have no idea what they feel like, how they last.
Right.
But they're not like the old Yamahas that I had, that you had. Where it's just a rubber pad. No, they've. I mean, you can still get those.
Right.
They've come a long ways.
Oh yeah, because I remember when Simmons first came out, it was a very hard surface.
Yeah, the new ones, most of them have mesh heads. It's supposed to feel more like a head, and the actual drum. Most of them have depth to them, so it's not just a flat pad.
Right.
They don't look like a real drum. Some of them do. Yeah, I don't know how they do it, because it's like, if that's an actual drum shell, how is it an electronic drum without getting the acoustic sound out of it?
Yeah.
Is it because of the head, or like I just don't know that much about electronic drums.
Yeah, I've never had an actual physical drum. I've always had the pads, and the only reason I had them is just because somebody wasn't using them, and I had they let me borrow them. I just wanted to check them out for a little while.
Well, you ended up with my old Yamaha kit.
Let's see. Yeah, because I get confused on. Damn. What
I had a set of Yamaha electronic drums they bought. God, couldn't even tell you. But when I bought them, they were like high end.
Yeah.
Electronic drums, but I just never could really get into them. They were fun to fart around with, but
yeah,
I could just never it just and now, like the ones I was looking at, you came here. I was showing you some videos. I mean, Zildjian's even got an electronic kit out now.
Oh, no kidding.
But I determined that, like, if I was going to get rid of my drums, which I pretty much decided I'm probably never going to get rid of my drums.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just because I'll never get out of the cymbals.
Oh yeah.
What I, because and then if I tried to sell them, somebody tried to piecemeal me. Oh, I really like that ride and those hi-hats.
Yeah.
And your 13-inch snare or whatever, and it's like, yeah, but now you're taking pieces away. Now it's going to be harder to sell what I have left. And
right.
I mean, honestly, in cymbals, I couldn't even tell you how much in cymbals I have.
Sure.
But if I had to go replace them, every single cymbal that I have,
oh God,
I'm probably looking at least $10,000.
It's going to be a bunch. It's going to be a lot. You got a big kit,
and that's the thing. It's like I could sell the drums and the hardware and stuff like that, because that's technically replaceable.
Yeah.
But the cymbals, I'd never be able to buy $10,000 in cymbals.
No, God, no. That's why
I mean,
I've always been really careful with my cymbals. I mean, I know a lot of guys that have the big name bands that they give them to. They bash the shit out of them, and I always played in clubs. I never played in any big halls. So there was, I don't even know how many jobs I played in clubs. Hundreds. That's all I know over all those years, just hundreds and hundreds of them. But, yeah, I was always very careful, and I love keeping them clean too. I love the shininess of them under the lights.
Yeah, I'd like to say mine were all clean, but talk about elbow grease.
They're a pain in the ass, aren't they?
Oh, but especially when they've been in storage for on and off for years, sure. But
do you have any pasty cymbals?
I think most of mine are Sabian and Zildjian.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if I got a pasty or not.
So they've all got the kind of the same look.
For the most part, my Z rides kind of got the hand hammered marks in it, and I saw that somewhere a while back. Mm-hmm. And like on eBay or something like that, they're like, this is original, like, heavy Z ride. It's real thick. It's heavy as shit.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I think they were like $400 or $420 or something like that. And I'm like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, a goddamn splash cymbal, an 8-inch or 10-inch splash cymbal is like $200 now. Yeah,
those darn things, just the right hit, the right whatever, they can crack. So I stuff like that. You just, unfortunately, if you're playing clubs, you've got to have the full extent of microphones. You've got to.
Yeah, but I mean, like for me, I played the way I played. Even if I was mic'd or not, I'm gonna hit the drum the way I hit the drum.
Right.
I see some drummers that it's like, man, you must have been lucky to be mic'd up from the time you started playing.
Sure.
Because it doesn't even look like you're hitting the damn things. You're just
really.
It's like, I don't know how you feel wise how you can play that light and still get the action and the that you want to get out of the drums.
Yeah.
But speaking of cymbals, I don't know if you remember this, and I think they were pasties or pasties, however you want to say it.
Right.
You remember the Roctagons?
Yeah. Yeah.
I never had one or played one. I know Gil Moore, the drummer from Triumph, played them for a while.
Uh-huh. Right.
Octagons, octagon-shaped cymbals.
Yeah.
They were real big in the 80s and part of the 80s and into the 90s for a while. I'd say real big. They weren't real big, but they were a thing.
Yeah.
You'd probably be hard-pressed to find one now.
Think of how that thing is made, okay? So you know that when they're cutting the tonal quality, of course, they're always going to put it through a machine that cuts it very specifically to measure depths and widths. And so they're going to be very careful what they do with that. And if there's some that are hand hammered, they're probably hand hammered by a machine that hits it exactly with the right amount of effort to create that same sound, because they're making thousands of cymbals and everything's got to be the same,
Well, yeah, I don't think they are though.
So that's
you could probably go buy 10 of the exact same cymbal from the same company,
and you will
probably
see
all are slightly different.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think there's a way for them to do it.
Right. I mean,
the cymbals that they have now are like just the accent cymbals, and then the stacks and the trash cymbals, and there's some that are cut out where it's almost like it's like they corkscrewed it.
Oh,
And I
really?
guess it's almost like a chime, and
Sure.
it's like, yeah, the shit that they have out now is just crazy.
Yeah, I'm out
And
of
I
touch,
don't
man. I've got
price
a
this stuff.
yeah, but
Um,
I
the
think for
Bell,
yeah, the Bell. I mean, that
it's
was
all cool shit, man. But God,
yeah,
it's like I'm not gonna go spend $500 on a cymbal that I'm only gonna hit once during my set.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's just,
yeah,
you know, I'll
right.
buy one of those octapads or whatever and program in the sound, and I'll hit the octapad for that
Exactly.
one cymbal.
Yeah, it'll be close enough so that a lot of people wouldn't be able to tell any difference. I didn't see him hit a cymbal, but I know he hit one somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I wanted to at least get out of you, like, what your like favorite set of drums you ever owned were.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I had a set of Tamas, and I spent a lot of money on them. I did. I
Tamas,
spent.
were they the like, the greenish aqua green color
They
ones?
were the aqua green color, and that was something that they had just added to their line. It was a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure I got those drums at the House Guitars. I'm pretty darn sure that's where I ordered them from.
If I'm not mistaken, you had that. It was a piece down kit.
Mm-hmm.
I think you had a kick and a tom. You might have had a floor tom, but I think
Yeah.
you had the octapad incorporated into that kit when you were
I
playing
did.
it.
Yeah, that's right. I had my my mounted tom was what they call a square tom. It was 13 by 13, 13 inches long, 13 inches wide.
Yeah. Cute.
I had a 16, I think a 16 by 16 floor tom. I had the deep snare that they offered, but that was chrome. I think it's so many darn kits.
Was that bass drum a 24-inch bass drum?
It was 24.
I feel like it was a big size. It was a good size bass drum.
It was deep too. It was 16. I think it was just 2 inches deeper.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it was 16 by 24, weighed like a ton. And, I had the damnedest time getting that drum in my car.
Yeah.
Because if I, pretty much the whole time I was playing music, I was working still. I mean, I was playing jobs all over. I mean, I had some driving to do for some of the jobs I had to play. I think I remember playing in Ithaca and, towns like that were, I mean, like I said, for me, going to Rochester was, depending on what suburb I was playing in or if I was playing downtown, then you're looking at, probably from Canandaigua, a 50-minute drive to the center of Rochester, the center of the city. Right. But yeah, I bought the biggest car I could, and I kept that Buick for a long time. That sort of mustard looking Buick with the vinyl 4-door, big LeSabre.
Right.
Because that big ass bass drum had to go on the front seat because that door opened wide. I couldn't see anything to my right.
No, I get it.
Yeah, you rode that. You rode in that in a bunch.
Yeah, yeah. That kit you were just talking about with the octapad and everything.
Right.
That was the kit you traded in for my chrome Yamahas.
Oh, right. That's right.
McNeil's Music in Ithaca.
Oh, is that where we went? I was trying to think the other day of where that kit came from. So
yeah,
it was
McNeil's Music in Ithaca.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we traded in. You traded in that kit and got me the big ass chrome Yamaha double
kit.
bass.
Yeah.
4 mounted toms, 2 floor toms.
I tell you what, I was as pumped over that drum kit as you were. Believe me, I was like, this is awesome.
Well, here's the funny part of that. We had to order them.
Yeah.
And when they came in, I can't remember. I can't remember if they got shipped to the house in Canandaigua, I think.
Oh, really?
And
wow.
Trace and I came up to pick them up because I couldn't wait.
Yeah, yeah.
And he and I drove up, and it was a fucking blizzard.
Oh, no shit.
And we drove all the way up there in a blizzard. I mean, I couldn't even see driving up there.
Oh, my God.
But we couldn't wait another day. It's like, they're there. They're there. We're going.
Yeah, man.
That's being young and dumb.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, could have just waited till the night. And this was at night. The snowflakes were so big that you almost couldn't see in front of you because there was so much snow coming down.
You get that weird effect of all of them coming right at you, thousands of them at once.
Yeah, and I had that little white Ford Escort.
Oh, God.
Driving
the wagon?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to have a wagon to get.
We drove all the way up there. We loaded all the drums up in the car and drove back.
Did you make him walk home or what? Did he have to thumb? Or?
No, he fit in. They all fit in, but yeah, that was just had to be part of the story because it's funny that was one of your favorite kits that you had because that's the one you actually traded in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we had to maybe put a little cash down too on top of it or whatever, but
right.
That was my first brand new.
Yeah.
That was going from the Rogers and the whatever bass drum other bass drum I had and the Roto Toms and the
whatever we could piece together.
Yeah. And
but I mean, I knew that I was done playing out anyways. I had done my time. Gosh, what year would that have been?
It had to be in 89, 90.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Asylum did the single in like 90, and I had that kit. That's the kit I took to the studio.
Right, right. Where was that done? I forgot. Was that in Ithaca also? No,
that was up in the other way, up on the other side of Hornell, up that way. Because that's another story. Remember driving up there?
Was that a bad deal too?
Another snowstorm.
Oh God!
Yeah, remember Steve was in front of us in his Thunderbird, and
he
dipped it and went into the median, and we had to stop, and he just grabbed his shit and ran and jumped in one of the other cars with us, and
oh my God!
And it just kept rolling, and he just called a buddy and said, "Hey, my car's in the median down by Canona. Can you go pull it out when you have time?"
Jesus! I bet he was cussing him out.
Yeah, Steve pulled out to pass somebody, and the car just went.
What kind of car was it?
Do you remember? It was a white Thunderbird.
That's why it spun out.
White Ford Thunderbird. We were in a white Ford Escort behind him.
So we had a car, and that was a wagon. That was a white Ford wagon with red interior. Yeah. So we had a car that was balanced, had good radial tires. He had a car that was all hood. That's one thing you must remember about riding in a car like that. They're all freaking hood. Yeah.
He loved his T-Bird, though.
And as soon as you pull out to pass on a snowy road and conditions are bad.
Oh, that ass end just started wiggling, and then finally it went around and it just went right into the median.
Oh, my God. Buried.
We all pulled over, and I think he grabbed his microphone and bag and shit, ran and jumped in one of our cars, and on we went.
Yes, indeed. Oh, my God. That's too funny.
Yeah. It was hilarious.
Yeah, everybody was going, oh, shit.
I wanted to ask, we definitely got to talk about the North drums, because the North drums were some of the coolest drums ever. Yeah. I never had a set. You did. So I don't know what the struggles and stuff were with them. I know they were just single-headed.
Right.
But they were just so cool, and they sounded great.
Yeah,
They really did.
yeah.
It
They were
great.
North had been out long enough, so they kind of got their design refined a little bit, and the drums were put together as good as you could do when you're using that kind of material. And so I'm sure it was an interesting thing to get there. Once they were up and running and they were selling them good, then that's a lot of work, because I'm sure a lot of that fiberglass was done by hand on molds. You'd have to take the soft stuff with the glue all over it and everything, and just getting it ready to be smooth enough to put a paint finish on it, or however the hell, I don't know. I never saw their production, but they had really got it to a point where they were they were turning out fine. Everything was coming out exactly as the one before. Right. And mine were all black. And the bass drum, of course, was huge. It was a 24-inch bass drum head, but the outside dimension facing the crowd was, I think it was around 31 inches wide, because it bellowed out. And just the same, like with the way the drums were shaped, you're hitting I was hitting like a 12-inch head, 12, 13, 15, I don't know what, 18.
I was going to say, that was one of the bigger kits I think you had.
Yeah.
As far as times go, because if you had like, I don't know how many times you had, but I feel like you had like 3 or 4 mounted toms, didn't you?
Yeah, I had some smaller toms, which was kind of a waste, because those weren't punchy enough to get out. But the design of the North style allowed the sound to carry out.
I still think that, I know you're not a big fan of the smaller drums, but I wouldn't want just smaller drums. But I still think when you want to do that big fill and you want to start out real high and just work your way down.
Yeah.
I think like the Octobans or the Rototoms or a very small tom. Like my kit that I have now is just a, little PDP kit, 2 mounted and a floor. But it's a 10-inch tom, 10, 12, and they're smaller drums. It's kind of like a jazz kit.
Right.
Or fusion kit, I think is what they called it when I bought it.
Sure.
But I can never tune the 10-inch tom the way I want to.
Yeah.
Because then I don't have the depth, because I don't have enough toms to work my way down. And being all smaller toms.
Right.
If I tune them all high, then I have no bottom end. I have no low. Yeah. So I have to kind of tune them all a little bit lower than I'd like to.
Right.
But I do like that, 8, 10, 12 tuned right. Yeah. But you got to have the 14, 16,
You got to have,
to finish it out.
13, 14, 16, 18.
You can't have them all, small. You got to have some bigger toms so you get some low end.
Well, the North were real punchy, because none of the guitar players ever wanted to stand in front of me. If it was a tight stage, the first thing they'd say to me before we would get started was, "Don't hit them like you normally do."
Yeah, their hair was all going forward.
A little bit. That's a headache maker when you're standing in front of those things. But I had them for a long time, and I remember I used to say, I don't think I'll ever get rid of these. I think I'll just hang on to them. And after I played a lot of gigs with those things, and just up and down the stairs into the apartment, hauling them out to go play a gig that was 45 miles away.
I do wish that was a kit that you still kept around until at least I was playing, so I could at least experience playing them.
Yeah.
I know you can get your hands on them still, but they're not cheap.
The bass drum was a real cannon. Oh my God. Holy crap.
I remember you playing it. Like, I think you guys, I don't even know what band you were in, but I think you guys played a gig at Cuca College, and it was like an outdoor pavilion thing. And you had those North drums. And I think it might have been like your last gig that you guys were playing as a band. I think you were all going different directions after that.
Yeah.
And so you guys were just really having fun with it. And they made you do a drum solo. And I just remember hearing those North drums mic'd up out in that pavilion outside. And I'm like, God damn, they sound fucking good. They sound so good. And they look really cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Well, I went to a Yes concert, and Alan Whitehead, he had a number of North Toms. He had a huge kit. And so, he's going to be, of course, surrounded by all kinds of percussion and you name it. There's a guy that could easily play everything and play it precisely. And so anyhow, I mean, all the times that I saw those Norths, I was like, yeah, I'm so glad I got a kit. But then again, after a while, I was like,
I think I only saw you play 2 gigs with those drums.
Oh, okay.
I think one time it was some sort of thing going on at like an Articat dealer.
Oh, okay.
They had some big event going on, and I think it was just I think you guys were in a 3-piece at that point.
Right.
I don't think it was Mike. I think Rick was in there.
Okay.
It was you, Rick, and a bass player.
Oh, okay.
If I remember correctly. I mean, you're talking a long time ago, but I remember you guys were up on a big stage. Not a big stage, but they had a stage set up, and you guys were up there, and I'm pretty sure you had the North drums for that too, and that was an outdoor thing.
Right.
And that was pretty cool too. But like I said, I want to know, like, what your dream kit is. Like if you were, you were going to go buy a brand new kit tomorrow.
Right.
Well, it doesn't have to be a specific brand or whatever, but like, color and just, how many toms and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I would definitely want a mixed kit, acoustic and electronic. And so I would have to go with a 22-inch bass drum. I don't need any more 24-inch bass drums or 20-inch bass drums. 22 is...
Yeah, 20s just don't have enough depth.
Yeah, 22 is a good size, and you can make it real punchy. Of course, it's not hard. And I would have a really good acoustic snare, and that would be the drum I would study hard. Okay, what do I really want? Because I've got to get out and hear everything, and I don't care if it's 14 by 5 or 14 by 6.5. It can be a greater depth, or it can be the most prevalent size that they make. What is it?
Right.
14 by 5 inch. And then because I don't need to be lifting heavy stuff anymore. I would definitely stick with the 22-inch bass drum. And it doesn't.
Well, we're not worried about carrying it around. I'm just talking about what, like the finish,
right?
I want a green kit or I want a yellow kit. Like I want a wood snare with wood hoops. Never had one.
Yeah.
And I'd like to have a marching snare. Older marching snare, real deep.
Yeah. What are they? Are they like 18 inches deep or something like that?
I think some of them are deep. They make different depths, but
yeah.
their standard, I think, is like 14 by 16 or 18. I can't remember. I looked it up earlier just to see.
Because I was never in band in high school, so I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
Yeah, I don't know how the marching drums are sized out. It's
I knew
something
a guy that he acquired an old wood marching snare. Was up in somebody's attic or something. He acquired it and kind of fixed it up, and that thing sounded so fucking good, mic'd up.
Oh, no
it
kidding!
Sounded so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
yeah, that's really awesome.
And it had the wood hoops on it and all that, and
right.
Like, but I don't necessarily have a dream kit,
right?
Other than like an acrylic kit. I've always wanted to have an acrylic kit.
Yeah,
just because I think they look so cool.
Right.
I don't know how they sound. I've heard some that
I've heard some that sound great.
I've heard, there was a girl that I watch on where I see her videos come up and everything. She had an acrylic kit for a while. I can't remember who made them, but her snare sounded like shit. But I don't think it was the snare. I think she just had no depth at all. I think she tuned it so tight. Oh, it was just nothing to it. I'm like, God, the snare sounds like crap.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know if it's the tuning or if it's the drum or, but I mean, the rest of the drums didn't sound bad, but that snare just did not do anything for me.
Yeah. Right.
But speaking of the snare drums, like I was just looking at some shit today because PDP came out with an acrylic kit.
Oh, okay.
And it's only one color. It's just the clear.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Now, this is on their website. I know that I think like Guitar Center and Sweetwater were offering it a little bit cheaper. They had a 4-piece for $2 on their website.
When you said 2, the rest of the word cut out. Say it again.
2,000.
2,000. Okay.
And they have a 6-piece for $2,750. They don't come with the snare.
They still don't come with a snare.
You got to buy the snare separately for $350.
Really?
And they also have right now, I don't know how long you'll be able to get them, but they have a 25th anniversary 4-piece acrylic kit without the snare.
Yeah.
But the hoops are walnut stained maple.
Oh, really?
It's kind of an interesting look.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm in love with it. I almost like the acrylic hoops better, but.
Right.
But I'm just like, and I started looking at some of their other kits, and like some of them come with snares and some of them don't. I'm like, holy shit! You buy a shell pack now, and it doesn't even come with a fucking snare drum. Like it should come with a snare drum. I don't care if it's a low end snare; it should come with a snare drum.
Right.
Like I get it, snare drum is more of a personal thing. Like somebody wants a wood snare, somebody wants a metal, somebody wants brass, somebody wants steel.
Right.
But it should come with a fucking snare drum.
And quite frankly,
switch out the snare drum, then I'll buy a new snare drum.
Yeah. I mean, quite frankly, if it's a 14 by 5 metal snare drum, it might not be like the best made stamped metal of a shell, but as long as it's a 14-inch, you can keep messing with it. At some point, you're going to get a halfway decent sound out of it.
Right.
And so, I mean, it's not rocket scientist. It's a head, it's a bunch of screws, and there's a shell, and it's just a matter of what are all the little tricks that I've learned over the years.
Yeah, well, and
that kind of thing.
But I mean, the fact that they're not even coming with the fucking kit, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
it's like buying a car, but it doesn't come with the steering wheel.
Right. Yeah, or a spare tire.
I got to buy the fucking steering. Well, yeah, no, cars don't come with spare tires anymore.
Oh God, that's sad.
My car doesn't have a spare tire, and that's 2012.
What is it? A little blow up thing or something?
It was when it worked. It was like fix a flat.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh dear.
But I wanted to mention drum clinics before, because we do have to cut this thing off here in about 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
Because it's going on 9 o'clock. I haven't had dinner or nothing yet, so
okay.
I don't want to get hangry.
I hear you.
But you and I went to a drum clinic at the House Guitars in Rochester.
Right.
Randy Castillo.
Sure. Yeah.
Played with Ozzy. He unfortunately passed several years ago, but
God, he was awesome.
Yeah, it was a great. I still have the guitar or the drum magazine that he signed.
Oh yeah, great. Excellent.
Yeah, because I took the issue of Modern Drummer that he was in.
Yeah.
And he signed the 8x10 glossy.
Yeah.
But he signed the magazine that.
Yeah. Wow.
And it was pretty cool that he signed that for me.
Yeah, I remember him playing, and I was just thinking, man, this guy's a monster.
And we also saw Terry Bozzio.
Yes.
And I can't remember the name of that music store in Charlotte. I saw Terry Bozzio twice. I saw him once before you and I went.
Okay.
I think it was at the University Hilton. He played a drum workshop down in a big meeting room.
Oh, okay.
And but you and I went to, I can't remember the name of that music store, but it was right there in Charlotte. And you and I went, and we had a good time. It was cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Some drummers that I just jotted down some names. Of course, John Bonham. Drummers we lost
right
too soon.
Way too soon.
John Bonham, for sure.
Yes.
Neil Peart.
Yeah.
Peart, however you want to say it.
Right.
Jeff Carroll. Vinnie Paul. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Vinnie Paul because it wasn't played for Pantera. Cozy Powell.
I love Cozy Powell.
Played for a bunch of different
English
people, but talk about eccentric.
Yes. Yes,
a little
indeed.
nuts, maybe.
Yeah.
Frankie Benali played for Quiet Riot.
Right.
Randy Castillo, obviously. We already said.
Yeah.
AJ Perro played for Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
And Eric Carr.
Oh yeah, for Kiss, yeah.
A lot of good ones over the years.
Yeah.
A lot of good ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Dan Lee, any last minute drum stuff before we call this one?
Well, if we got
I know I cut you off from the teaching shit, but I hated to do it. But I was like, well, I want to get on to some of the drum things I wanted to ask you. Still didn't give me your favorite color drums. I think I've asked you like 16 times. Maybe not 16, maybe twice.
Oh gosh,
you never did complete your dream kit. That included color.
Yeah.
And a lot of cymbals.
Oh gosh, yeah. The thing about brass cymbals that are real brassy and real shiny, and there's a lots of lights on them. They go super well with burgundy colored drums.
Yeah.
There's just something about that combination of bright, chromy brass and a burgundy. It's got to be it can't be a real deep burgundy, but there's just I got a color in mind, and I just know how cool it looks with those kind of cymbals all shined up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I can pick a favorite color because there's so many like I've seen like custom finishes that are cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always like that Gretsch kind of look with the one kind of stripe thing on it. I always thought that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I've had chrome drums. I've had silver sparkle. I've had red sparkle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've never had just a wood grain drum.
Yeah.
Which they're gorgeous and they can be super beautiful, but
yeah.
But I do like a color, you know. I kind of like a teal color or right something like that. But
I had a Slingerland birch snare.
Yeah,
that was a pretty drum.
I mean, the chrome ones were definitely cool, but they do kind of like an acrylic drum. They do show every little mar and scratch, and but they still look good on stage under the lights.
Yeah.
But when you look at them close, you're like, God damn, these things look like I've taken steel wool to them or something. You know.
I know that if I was in a band and we were playing all the time and we had a road crew, I'd pick out the most careful guy in the road crew and said, "You're my roadie, and this is how you're going to handle the drums, and you're not going to deviate because I'll see it in a second."
Yeah.
And just
if you're fortunate enough to have a roadie or a bunch of roadies, you probably don't need to worry about it because the drum company will just send you another set when you want them.
Yeah, if I'm that good, sure.
But thanks for watching, listening, whatever you do. I am the Kid.
I'm Dana Lee.
We'll catch you next time.